walking on Glenside Avenue, and all of a sudden, bingo, there are these words coming in. Your life is going to change soon. Okay. I continue walking. There is no emotion. There is no reaction to the message. It is as though it has already happened. Like when I was a child. So the information does not go through the amygdala. Does not go through the frontal cortex. Wherever it's coming from, the organism does not react. And I looked at it in a way, yeah, it's like it's already happened. And I have had experiences in dreams that I knew from the dream that this was or for example, maybe it's just an image. These are always images. I'm a visual person. It's like when in the dream I was going up an art gallery, a place where there was art, and I looked out of the window. And out of the window I saw a round church with a steeple next to it, and the earth was all red. And this was now, 25 years ago. And so I knew that this was important for me, this place. But the years pass, and then with my husband, we're planning to go to Spain. And I says, Jim, maybe it's Spain. Is the earth red near the Tahoe? So we're going in Madrid, and I said, well, let's dowse where to go. I'm a dowser with cards. I have a system in which I can ask the question in relation to a neuromuscular response in my arm and how I shovel the cards. One card is yes, the other one is no, and so we dowse them. And Segovia came up. Fine, so we go to Segovia with the bus, and it was rainy day, and here is the fortress, of the Templars, the castle of Segovia. And I'm going up the stairs in the castle. They have these very deep windows that are inclined because they're very thick. And all of a sudden I stop. I look out of the window. My God, there it is. Framed by the window, had arched at the top, is a round sort of church. It's far away. And I know that it's on the other side of the valley, and I can't get it. No way possible for me to get there that night. And then there is this steeple next to it. I says, Jim, this is the dream. What is this place? So we go through, we're late already. We go through this wonderful palace, of the Templars. There's this wonderful, actually Islamic Arabic architecture. And then before the bus leaves, we go to a cafe. And I look at the cards, and guess what? Here is the church. It's called the Church of the Templars. So I says, Jim, right now the Templars are in vogue, for whatever reason. And this was before the Templars were in vogue. So I says, Jim, who were the Templars? And, my husband is a historian, and so he kind of clues me in. And then we were going to England to meet Mr. Davidson, who also had written books on consciousness in Cambridge, I believe. And he was getting ready to go to India to visit his guru, and he was having tea, and we were waiting in his library. Jim says, Fiammetta, there is a book on the Templars. I said, oh, great. He says, I will order it for you when I go back to England. And, he mailed me the book. But the clincher is that in the book there was a photograph. There was a photograph, of these people kind of tied together, bound together, and there's all little flames, around them, and they're all looking up. In the spring of that year, I had gone to Mt Shasta for a quest with American Indians with my son. And I had entered the sweat lodge. I had doused on the sweat lodge before. I don't like the heat. And I had gotten the Fool, which is, I use the Hermetic Death, which has the letters of the Jewish alphabet on it, which are also the Sephiroths in the Kabbalah. And the Fool came up. And, when the Fool comes up, that's it. There's no card against it. So I knew I had to get in there. So I talked to the shaman in charge, and I says, look, I don't like the heat. I can't stand the heat. Well, he says, you can sit next to me. But once we close, put the tarp down, so to speak, and all the stones are in, you can't leave because you're going to disturb people, okay? So, they're putting in all these rocks, and they're red rocks, and I'm in the dark, all this, they sort of feel very, very creepy, right? And this heat coming out, And I feel this fear coming inside of me. My God, I'm going to die. I can't take this. Let me tell you, I got out of there. An elephant chain could not have held me. I got out of there crying. And outside there was my sketchbook. And I can, in the state of hypnosis, I can draw, okay? And because I'm aware that I'm in a state of hypnosis, I can function at both levels. I was trained in hypnosis. And, I was told that this was unusual, that I could still describe my own state while I was in it. So here I'm drawing while I'm crying about this horrible experience. And what am I drawing? I am drawing these people that are all bound up, and, and there's flames around them. I have no idea what I'm drawing. But there was a miniature of the 14th century of where Jaque de Molay was burned. And that same end of summer, with my husband, we went back to France. And he was tired. He has problems. And I says, Jim, why don't we go down to the Seine, to the island, l'Île de la Seine, I think it's called. And, we can take a little boat and you can relax. So we did that. And we got off the boat and we went through the island. And at one point, my husband said, I want you to stop because there is something here that might interest you. And we stopped, and there was an arch. And on the arch it said, this is the place where the Grand Master Jaque de Molay was burned to death in, I think, 1312. So, afterwards I asked myself, other people like that had come in. What do I have to do with these people? And, Catherine of Siena starved herself to death. Girolamo Savonarola was burned to death. Lincoln was assassinated. This guy was burned. So, what is my connection to this? And the only connection that I could find was that they were all against the status quo. They were against authority. Jaque de Molay was really interested in a dialogue between, the Muslims and the Christians. Savonarola really wanted to get rid of the Borgia Pope, who was a monster.